Some government soldiers in the strategic town have reportedly switched sides. Hada Abdelhamid is there.
This is the newest checkpoint of the anti-Gaddafi forces as they continue their push towards the west of Libya. Their advance has been difficult as Gaddafi loyalists have used all their might to retain control of oil hubs around the country. A deadly battle raged for hours in Ras Lanouf, a key oil terminal in the east. The rebels say they came under heavy artillery fire and shelling on Friday.
The military base is still theirs. About 20 officers from the Farjan tribe refused to fight. They hung them, and then we entered the base.
The Gaddafi forces retreated, and the rebels got hold of weapons left behind. With more firepower, there's a belief that victory is drawing closer.
It's a battle where every inch of territory is fought for. Now they're regrouping and they say they're getting ready to head first to Sirte and then to Tripoli.
The rebels enjoy the support of soldiers and commanders who have defected. They have taken the lead in the push.
We're from the army. We're waiting for orders to move forward. The only condition to stop fighting is for Gaddafi to leave.
The rebels have pushed the front line and hundreds continue to stream on the coastal road, vowing death or victory. But from now on, it's going to get much tougher. The coming battle for Sirte will be a decisive turn in the uprising that has engulfed Libya. Hada Abdelhamid, AlJazeera, Ras Lanouf.
So the propaganda war goes on. The leadership in Tripoli maintains Azawad is in its control. This footage was provided by the Libyan regime. It's said to show Martyrs Square in Azawad on Friday, highlighting positions where it says protesters have artillery and weapons. A foreign ministry spokesman says forces have been told not to engage with protesters in Ras Lanouf.
We hope by tomorrow morning life will back to normal in Zawiya. Regarding the situation on the ground in the Ras Lanouf and the Brega, the army is still abiding to the instruction not to engage in severe fighting in those areas.
Now, in recent weeks, we've seen a mass exodus of foreign workers from Libya. Mohammed Val is monitoring the situation on the Tunisian border town of Ras AlJazeera.
This is the Ras AlJazeera border crossing between Tunisia and Libya, and as you can see, it's relatively calm today, particularly in comparison to the last few days when we saw an influx of more than 10,000 people every day. Today, they are speaking here about a few hundred only. And as you can see, there are more aid workers and Tunisian security and military here than foreign workers trying to get out of Libya. We have been talking to various people trying to understand why, considering that we know that there are still hundreds of thousands of workers stranded in Libya.
There are a lot of West African, sub-Saharan African migrant workers in Libya are afraid to leave wherever they're hiding. I have spoken to Ghanaians, Nigerians, Malians, Chadians. They all say that they're afraid. They're afraid of violence. They're afraid of being beaten up by what they call local youth. We also have contractual workers. Contractual workers coming from Asian countries. Their company are probably still keeping them on contract. And then you have a lot of migrant workers who've paid a lot of money to intermediaries to come here and work in Libya. And they're probably hedging their bets for the moment, depending on how the situation evolves. And of course, there's the overall military situation on the ground, which is obviously probably not propitious to people moving towards the border areas.
According to international relief agencies, more than 1 million foreign workers are still in Libya. Whether they have decided not to leave or came under pressure from the Libyan authorities is not clear. But what is clear is that just crossing the border is not the end of the troubles for many of those foreign workers. And as you can see, we have thousands of Bangladeshis here who have been stranded for more than a week, unable to find any means of transport back home.
Egypt's Prime Minister Essam Sharaf has appointed a new interior minister. According to the Prime Minister's Facebook page, General Mansour El Essawi, a former director of security, will take over the new cabinet position. The Prime Minister is also expected to appoint former Judge Nabil El Arabi as the new foreign minister. The new appointments come after angry protesters stormed state security buildings in Cairo and Alexandria on Saturday. They say the officials are trying to destroy sensitive documents. Shireen Tadros reports from Cairo.
First came the ousting, and now comes the justice. Habib al-Adli, Egypt's former interior minister, mobbed by demonstrators shouting, "Execute him," as he was leaving court. Al-Adli is on trial for money laundering and profiteering. But people here want to see him tried for ordering the police to open fire on protesters during the revolution. And that's not all. This man says Al-Adli is responsible for setting prisoners free and deliberately causing chaos during the protests. This woman tells us it's not just Al-Adli but all corrupt Interior Ministry officials who have policed with an iron fist that should stand trial.
For over 10 years, Habib al-Adli was the face of one of the most hated institutions here, the Interior Ministry, as well as the security apparatus that came under its command. People are still asking for that security apparatus to be dismantled.
Outside state security headquarters in Cairo, that's exactly what was happening. Protesters demanding police forces leave the streets and a complete restructure of the security services. They claim now officials are going on trial. Police officers are burning and shredding any documents which could incriminate them and their bosses in the future.
They're burning all the papers behind this wall, and that's why some of us went inside and took the papers that they haven't completely burnt yet. And we're showing this evidence to the army.
Similar scenes were witnessed in the port city of Alexandria late Friday as police clashed with demonstrators outside a security building, injuring several people. Again, burnt identity cards were found by witnesses. As Egypt enters into a new era, people still want justice for the past. They see it as the only way to guarantee a different, better future. Shireen Tadros, AlJazeera, Cairo.
Now let's speak to Ahmed Gamal. He's a pro-democracy activist. He was at the state security building in Nasser City in that suburb of Cairo. Ahmed Gamal, tell us what you experienced as you went into that building, moved from office to office and searched through those files.
I went late, so it was not easy to get because the army was blocking one gate. So we went through another adjacent building and went inside. I didn't see much of importance, but I seen a lot of shredded paper in one of the one of the parks. When I went up, there was I seen a document about gathering intelligence about foreign students studying in some other institute. Also, I seen some videos. One video about illicit meeting between someone from a royal family in some Arab country with some Egyptian businessman. Another video having a ticket saying it's with some of it's called Fannana. It's like a singer or an actress with some man. There was a lot of videotapes, a lot of